how to prepare for CAT from April. And so we do this series. We say how to prepare from Jan, Feb, March, April. To start with, they're not dramatically different. There's one exam. We all know when it's going to end. You're going to have the same outline in a slightly different time frame. That's it. And the most important thing to do, one is to have a good plan and kind of stick to it. More than that is to be very disciplined about that plan. And I'm going to first outline the plan. Then we'll talk about how to be disciplined with the plan, which is, I think, even more crucial. First up, your preparation is going to break into three phases. Right? One is the learning part. Second is the practice part. Third is the bringing it all together, mocks part. Right? Learning part, learn from first principles, learn absolute basics. If you're learning geometry, learn geometry. Don't then think about how many questions will come in this CAT from geometry. Don't do that. Learn geometry, learn inequalities, learn functions, learn logarithms for the sake of learning that topic. Don't bypass theory for the sake of adding on some fancy shortcuts. Don't do any of the stuff. Do the more boring, sincere, first principles, fundamental stuff and learn ideas. And you'll have a higher bias towards quant in the early part of your preparation, mainly because quant is vast. Right? As far as verbal is concerned, read for an hour every day. If you don't have the habit of reading, read from simple things. If you have the habit of reading, start including variety very early. Any which way you have to read lots of stuff from lots of sources, across lots of genres, lots of different lengths, all of that. So the moment you get comfortable, increase your variety. LRDI, you can go on, start it about a month, perhaps a month after you start preparing for quant so that you're comfortable with taking in ideas. Then practice with variety from very early on. And this is the first phase of preparation. Soon enough, transition to practicing a lot. In the end, this is a competitive exam. The way your mind can process solving a quadratic equation quicker matters a lot. One, it matters for speed, but more than that, it matters for fatigue. A lot of times, a lot of what we do just slips in automatically. So you have to make sure that a lot of computation is automatic, which will come with only one thing, solving thousands of questions. So keep that in mind. The same trick applies for verbal. If you read for an hour every day, your mind just digests things very differently after 3 months. You have to give it the chance to dwell and digest it differently. That will happen only if you have 100 hours of reading behind you. So keep that in mind. So read a lot, solve a lot. That comes in phase 2. Adding tons of practice questions of different stripes under your belt, that comes in phase 2. Remember, when you're in this phase 2, you will have to continuously revise and revisit. Suppose you're solving 20 questions on percentages and you get only 14 of them right. Then there's some funda gap, then go and fix that. So you'll always be learning as well. Keep that in mind. When you're learning, you have to keep revising. Otherwise, things will just fly out of your mind. So it's not like phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 1 will go on. First 3 months will be dominated by phase 1, but you'll be learning new ideas till about 10 days before CAT. And likewise, the practice part starts a little late, but will go on till the end. The last phase is mocks. The last 3 months, you should look to take about 20 to 25 mocks at least. You should look to take a mock once a month or once in 3 weeks, starting from April, so that you just know what this exam is about. But the last lap is going to be based on mock, feedback from mock, practice, learning funda again, another mock. And so it's going to be led by mocks. In order to be ready for that, you should have had tons of practice before that. So make sure you get that. Right? So break it into these 3 phases. Have a more customized schedule for yourself. So reach out to us. We can give you a broad outline of a schedule and then you can tweak it for yourselves. Having that schedule is very helpful. Now, the part which I want to really speak about is having the discipline to start. I'm finding a lot of students who are fascinated by the idea of preparing for CAT more than actually preparing for CAT. So we roam around the fringe areas in CAT, and something on Facebook, something on YouTube, something motivational by somebody outlining a beautiful preparation plan from April, any such thing. But the problem is, this is a good starting point. It's like kickstarting your vehicle. After that, it should go on to autopilot. You have to have the discipline to see some plan through. So don't spend too much time on creating a plan. No plan is as good as 100 hours of learning. And so you don't even have to have an uber scientific plan starting in April. You tell yourself, in April, I'm going to cover these 6 topics, read those 2 novels. I'll take stock on May 1st. That is completely fine. Jump in and solve, read, compute, derive, learn, do all those things and do them aggressively. Get big chunks, several hours in learning different ideas. It will pay off. So spend less time on planning and outlining and more time on learning and reading, the real action words. And so Please spend lesser time on YouTube and Facebook and more time with notebook and paper, or with a good online course and paper. Right? You know where to find a good online course. Right? Best wishes for Quant.